analyzing. So I'm going to, for recording purpose, I'm going to explain once again. Irrespective of the technologies which you are going to learn, you need to know the basic concepts of software development. Okay, that's the reason we need to learn first SDLC. SDLC stands for Software Development Lifecycle. So every software development happens through these models. So we follow different models purely depending on the project. From project to project, these models will vary. So here I have listed 5 models. One is a waterfall model, iterative model, spiral model, V model, and agile methodologies or agile model nowadays. Okay. See, this is basically a process. Software development lifecycle is a process. We need to follow this process. Coming to the very first basic model is waterfall model. This is a phased manner waterfall, software development model. That means waterfall model follow the phased approach of software development. How many phases are there? We have around 6 phases, starting with the requirement gathering, analyzing the requirements. Third one is after analyzing the requirements, design the document, designing, high-level design, and low-level design. Fourth one, coding. Fifth one, testing. Sixth one, deployment. Seventh one, maintenance. Okay, is it clear to all of you? Are you guys able to hear my voice? Are you able to see my screen? Everybody, can you please let me know if you guys have any issues?
Yes.
Right. Oh, thank you. See, there are total 7 phases are there. First one is requirement gathering, analyzing the requirements, design, high-level design and low-level design, coding, implementation, and testing, deployment, and the maintenance. What is the requirement gathering? As a tester, as a developer, we always involve all these phases. So total 7 phases are there, right? We always involve all these phases of SDLC. Coming to requirement gathering, how the requirement gathering looks like. Okay. So requirement gathering, where we gather all the requirements of the software. Okay. So during this requirement gathering, we come across the different document types. What are those document types? SRS documents, FRS documents. Okay. Use cases, user stories. Okay. So what is SRS? What is SRS? SRS is nothing but a system requirement specification document. That means SRS document contains all the requirements of the entire system. For example, you are working for ICICI Bank. In ICICI Bank, how many LOBs are there? LOB means line of businesses. So many businesses are there, right? LIC provide health insurance and vehicle insurance. That means that comes under insurance domain. They also provide credit cards. They also provide banking services. Under banking services, again we have so many LOBs: corporate banking, retail banking, and current and providing savings banking services. Right? They also offer various other kind of services under ICICI Bank, right? So these all details of these LOBs will be there under SR, System Requirement Specification. And coming to FRS, Functional Requirement Specification contains the detailed analysis of the functionalities of the particular components. For example, under ICICI Bank, you are going to work for a online bank. You are going to work only on online banking. Then this FRS provides the details, in-depth details about the online banking of the ICICI Bank. Okay. Inside FRS, we have so many modules out there, right? Each module is described using use cases and user stories. These technologies, user stories and use cases, we never come across during a waterfall model. The both names we can see only in agile methodologies. Okay. So we will discuss when we are discuss about the agile methodologies in later point of time. But currently, these are the various document types. Okay, that deals with the requirements: SRS, FRS, use cases, and user stories. SRS, System Requirement Specification; FRS, Functional Requirement Specification; use cases, and user stories. So, how the SRS document looks like? This is how SRS document looks like. Okay, so it will have a System Requirement Specification. After that, system requirement selection. Here, for example, here in the project place, you can simply say ICICI Bank. This is how it looks like. Okay. Inside this, we have a detailed analysis of the application. See here, these are the table of contents. First, introduction. In this introduction, they simply introduce the modules which you are going to develop and test under introduction. Okay. And they also specify the project scope. Sorry, what is project scope? Why we need to have project scope? Why we need to have project scope? See, in ICICI Bank may have so many modules, but do you test all the modules? Or do you develop all the modules? No, we don't test or develop all the modules. In ICICI Bank, we got a project. For example, you are working for Wipro. For Wipro, you got a project. You basically got a project from some XYZ bank. In XYZ bank, we are going to work only for online banking. We don't deal with other modules. So that is the reason we should have a project scope. Project scope limits the work which we need to carry. Okay. And out of scope also will be there sometimes. Out of scope means don't touch those modules. We are warning. Please don't test or develop any kind of other module. That's what it includes out of scope. Project scope, in scope, out scope. Then coming to the overall description. This is where you can see the description of each and every module in your application. Under development. Application under development, you also called AUD. Okay. AUD also called as AUT. AUD, application under development. Okay, AUT under application under testing. That means the application which you are going to develop is called actually AUD. Application which you are going to test is called AUT. Under overall description section, this is where actually we describe about the products. Okay, products. So each and every products and their classes and characteristics and what is the environment these components work, what is the designing and implementation constraints, and so on will be there in our overall description. Then system features. As I told you, under each and every product, there are multiple systems are there. in the section 3, we describe each and every feature of the system. So each system has a user interface, right? Those details will be there under a external interface requirements. Then finally, we have a non-functional requirements. Non-functional requirements, ideally, as a tester, we never did. If you are going to exclusively work on performance testing, at that time you have to study these non-functional requirements. Otherwise, not required. Okay, so this is the template of a SRS document. SRS means System Requirement Specification documents. So these are the various sections. The size of the document will vary from project to project. Sometimes you may also have a 150 plus pages document. Sometimes they will give 20 pages document, purely depending on the project which you are going to work. So as a tester, as a developer, what you have to do, we have to thoroughly analyze these requirements. We have to thoroughly analyze these requirements. Okay. So I have another template. I'm just looking for the template. Okay, I will show you when we start discussing about user stories and use cases under agile methodologies. Okay, so we have to gather the requirements, and in this phase we analyze the requirements. That means study the requirements. After the designing, what is design documents contains? What is design document contains? Okay, I will show you exactly how it looks like. Okay, so the design document you can view in UI path. Okay, UI path. This is also one of the tool basically to design a software, to design a flow of the application. Okay, we use these tools, but as a tester we never use. Okay, only system architects, that means the person who has some 15 plus years of experience and a very strong what you call domain expertise and technical skills, only they design the software. Ideally these people we call it actually architects. Okay, architects, only architects people work on it actually. So how the design document looks like, I will show you one simple diagram of a design document. Okay, so this is how actually the design document looks like. Okay, so do you understand anything over here? Definitely no. Why? The reason is actually it is a development activity. Okay, development activity. As a tester, we don't have any role in designing a software. Okay, designing a software contains only flowcharts. Okay, so this is the flow chart. In this flow chart, we have a start and we have end. Okay, here they will initialize all the configurations and everything, and we have one more process called, this is actually different process, get transaction, process transaction, and so on. These are the various stages of the design document. Design means what actually, before going to implement the code, developer design the software. Hence, a tester does not have any role to play over here. Okay, coming to the coding, how the coding looks like. We know the coding is nothing but a developing classes, packages, okay, and then APIs or services. Coding is nothing but we basically develop the classes, packages, APIs, and services. So as a tester, this is where we involve. Okay, testers. And coming to the deployment, once the testing the application thoroughly, we deploy the software into various environments. Okay, including production environment. Once we make all the changes and application is stable, the application goes to maintenance phase. Maintenance phase means we are simply maintaining the software. That's all. Okay, we simply maintain the software. So these are the various phases of waterfall model. First, requirement gathering, analyzing the requirements, designing, code and implementation, testing, deployment, and maintenance stages. Okay, SDLC. Yeah, here you can see waterfall. Yeah. Okay, first we gather the requirements, analyze the requirements, and then we'll go for design, and then development, and then testing and deployment, and then finally goes to maintenance phase. You can ask this question, sir, why we have these many models? Because at the beginning of the software, okay, industry, in 1990s or 2000 beginning, most of the projects are following waterfall model. But now almost more than 60% of the projects are working on a agile methodology. More than 60% of the projects are using agile. The reason is actually waterfall model has have certain disadvantages. What are those disadvantages? The disadvantages, the very first and foremost disadvantage is actually is a unidirectional. That means you can go from requirements to design, design to development and testing, and then development. Then only go to maintenance stage. That means if you are a developer, you made a mistake in a development phase. You want to rectify it, but you just crossed already development phase. Currently in a deployment phase. In waterfall model, you can't go back. You can't go back and fix it and repeat again testing and deployment. That is highly impossible. Okay, that's highly impossible in a waterfall model. That's the reason waterfall model is a rigid model. It's not a flexible model. That's the reason most of the projects are following the agile methodologies and other models. But still, if you get a job, 40% of the projects still running on waterfall model, because migrating the projects from one model to another model is very time consuming process. We have to train the process, we have to train the people, and we have to implement the process. So it takes a lot of time. Because of these reasons, client don't risk to migrate from one model to another model. Even though agile methodologies has so many advantages, still only 60% of the projects are using agile methodologies. The reason is, these are the reasons. Is it clear? Now we know what is a SDLC, what is waterfall model, and various phases of the waterfall model. What are the various phases? Actually, requirement gathering, analyzing the requirements, designing, coding, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Okay, clear? Then coming to iterative model. What is this iterative model? See, in waterfall model, as I said, entire software is designed at a stretch in each and every phase. That means For example, you are going to develop ICICI Bank online portal. All the requirements of the application is studied over here. And then only we will move to design phase. In design phase, we design the entire software. And again, we design the entire development. I mean, we develop the entire application. Again, we start testing the application as a whole, not a single module or single things. So that is the reason actually it becomes so cumbersome and so complex to deliver the product in a waterfall model. So in iterative model, what they did, they split the entire application into different fields. Build 1, build 2, build 3, build 4, build 5, and extra. That means all the requirements are segregated, I mean divided into different builds. And again, each and every build follows waterfall model again. Okay, that means nothing. To make our job simple, we just split or divide the entire project into different builds. And again, to implement the build, again we are following waterfall model. That's all. Very simple. Is it clear to all of you? Everybody? Yeah. So today we saw actually what is SDLC. Under SDLC, we have discussed about waterfall model and then iterative model. What is the iterative model? How it looks like? Okay, I will show you how the iterative model looks like. So this is the iterative model. It looks like. We took all the requirements and divide the requirements into build 1, build 2, build 3. Each and every build again follows design, development, testing, and implementation. Once the first build is over, then we will go to the second build. Then we will go to the third build. Okay. It's enough for today. Okay. So we'll continue with the remaining topics. We'll continue with the SDLC. After that, we'll go with the SDLC, B model, and then agile model. And then we'll go what is the difference between QA and QC. And then we'll see what is verification, what is validation, what is review, walkthrough, and inspection. And levels of testing. Under levels of testing, we'll discuss about unit testing, integration system, and then acceptance testing. And then we go with each and every level. Okay. Then finally, we'll discuss about different testing methodologies. Okay, after that we'll see different type of testing and the techniques we follow to write the test cases, database testing and all. Okay, these are the topics we cover. Okay, during our software development and testing fundamentals. Okay. Then we'll continue with Java. Then we'll continue with Selenium and so on. Okay, we stop here for today. Thanks for joining. Please share your email IDs. Okay, can you please share your email IDs quickly on this short room?